Hello and welcome to the winter special of the Top Drive Show. My name's Josie and we are at the Joe Macari Showroom in London. My name's Josie and I'm an analyst at Hutch.
I'm Jonathan and I'm design director at Hutch.
And I'm Tim, I'm head of analytics and marketing at Hutch.
Now it is time for our December Q&A. Thank you very much for your patience and your lovely comments from last month. I have got all of our lovely questions written down here on this big piece of paper. We had a lot of people who've received several carbon fibre packs in the past asking some questions this time around. We've decided that we're going to pick the most liked questions that are from players that haven't had a carbon fibre pack in a while, just to spread the love around a little bit. So the most liked question from that group is from a player called With Cars. And their question is, can we have a thing where we can sell cars in the holding pool we don't want for gold as well as cash? So there's a couple of things in there. Firstly, selling from the holding pool as gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well,
I'll let you better on the economy
fundamentally,
side.
why is there gold and cash? Right? Why are there two different things? It's because we're trying to create different trade-offs in the game, right, for different reasons. So gold is about, oh, okay, compete for it, it's harder to get, and you're going to invest in packs or slots, they're both really exciting. So when you win it, it's exciting, and you're spending it on big stuff. And then cash is more about, okay, you can do some upgrades, or you can buy the ceramic, which gets you by. It's not the best pack, but it might have a really great car in it, maybe. And that's the trade-off you make there. And so, yeah, if you could get gold for selling cars, that whole thing would change. That would become the main way you get gold, even if you only got one gold per car.
Yeah, I think it's that thing, like you say. It's I guess it's hard when you're not sort of working on the game. It's hard to get a true feel for just how finely balanced this all is, and just that value. The value of things in the game is also kind of equates to how exciting stuff is to get, and it's quite a kind of ecosystem of things.
And if we designed it where you got gold for selling them in the first place, probably packs would be more expensive to sort of offset that, so that it all worked in a similar way.
Yeah.
So it's not the kind of thing we can just.
So completely understand the desire for it, but it's like I don't know. I was going to go down like a animal metaphor sort of ecosystem kind of thing. But
predator prey.
Yes, I probably shouldn't, because that just get confusing.
There you go.
Our next question comes from Mihai Blaga, who asks, what about some new event requirements? Things like pickup trucks, 50s cars, something like that. So just expanding the event requirements.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned before that I'm sort of, I would love to see some. I feel like we're now kind of getting to the point where we've got a bit more of a kind of critical mass in older stuff. Yeah. And actually, we could. I think 2020 should see some slightly more kind of retro events and event criteria coming into play. I think in terms of the other stuff, it's. I think maybe we did talk about this sort of briefly, that the team is evolving. There's new people coming on, and as part of that, I think the kind of the bandwidth to experiment and kind of explore event types is growing on the team. So I'd like to think that the new year will bring some greater variation in that.
Yeah.
Because we've got the game offers it. There's a lot more cars now. There's a lot more variety in terms of the kind of systems that sort of sit behind the game. We've got all those things available to us. Yeah. So it's not a huge sort of stretch to start bringing some of them in.
Yeah, just as long as there's enough diversity out there that people have the cars. You know, we've got one Sub-Zero tag car. Not going to do a Sub-Zero event anytime soon.
I don't know whether now is a good time to unveil that there may be a second coming. I'm using my power.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay, well,
anyway,
Thank you, Mihai, for your question. The next question comes from Frederick Nielsen, who asks, well, basically it's, we haven't talked about this for a little while, but metric when, basically. Can we switch between miles per hour and kilometers per hour?
It's genuinely been on the list since about 2 months into the project. Like not as in sort of a year and a half before the game even launched. It was on a list somewhere, because I get it. It's just like, you know, it's almost selfish of us to stick with the units for our particular territory. And I know we've discussed this before, it has some knock-on effect. It's a weird thing where it has, some of it is straightforward and we can just put it in options and let you shift stuff so that the units are displayed. Yeah. It just gets a bit more complicated when we start talking about quarter miles and the sort of distances, and the 0 to 100 miles an hour or 0 to 150 start becoming quite weird.
Yeah.
It's like, do we change
those? Like we could put it in, and then the next thing we get is people going, why does this challenge go to 122? And
Yes,
why are these numbers here?
What's with the strange numbers?
Yeah.
But that's not, I mean, in a way we shouldn't use that. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse. Like
No.
it is high on the quality of life sort of feature list.
Yeah.
You know what we could do, right? Because we have some slightly different length drag races. I think we renamed them. We were calling them all quarter mile and half mile, and actually some of them were a bit shorter and a bit longer. And now we just call it like Tokyo drag or whatever. But metric could be a bit easier. You could say this is 800 meters or whatever.
Yeah, yes.
Because people know about miles, but as soon as you go into anything else from Imperial, it's all a bit like, wait, what is that? How far is that?
Oh, it's a chain.
Yeah.
8,000 barleycorns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Although there is somebody, I was reading a car review the other day, and I can't actually remember what car it was, but the manufacturer's claimed performance figure for it. Yeah. I mean, it's not to 60 or not to 100 or top speed or anything like that. Their claimed performance figure was a 0 to 1,000 meters time. And I don't know whether this was them trying to establish a new benchmark.
What? 0 to 1,000
I mean, basically
meters.
Basically a standing kilometer. But I'd never heard it before.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Sounds like fun.
Okay.
I'd go for some of that.
It's it hasn't gone away. It hasn't dropped down the list. It's still there.
Yep.
Maybe 2020.
Maybe one day we will join the civilized world. Maybe. The next question comes from Tillman Potzner, who asks, "Hi. What about the issue with the McLaren 720S's mid-range acceleration destroyed by the previous buff of its 0 to 60? There are more cars with the same issue, but I just wanted to give that as an example. You addressed this issue in a previous episode, but we haven't done anything about it."
That's a tricky.
Where is that one?
I would need to. I would need to go back and look through my notes in detail. I know that. I mean, I think we had discussed it in detail because we have this slightly weird thing where we can correct a 0 to 60 time or correct a sort of a mid-range MRA time, and it has a kind of it can sort of affect other times kind of along the acceleration curve. I'm 99% sure we have got this sorted and it will be in the next update, but I'm going to make a very large note on my to-do list
to make sure
to go back today after this show.
Yes, we're very sorry.
Triple
we're very
check.
sorry. Yes, we're very sorry. Okay, another question we've got here comes from Jason Kanak, who says, "Has Hutch ever considered adding achievements into the game for endgame players? You could give out awards, cars or packs, different tasks, i.e. complete a challenge perfectly in 25 tries, max out the campaign, get first place in clubs 10 times. I think it could be fun and rewarding to see something like this. Thanks." It does sound very nice.
It does sound fun. Yeah, I mean, I think sort of when we've discussed anything in this area, I feel like we tend to go down the kind of quest
That's
route
right, yeah.
rather than
It's
the
like
achievement route.
because we like to get the most out of a feature that we can.
Yeah.
So rather than code up a whole bunch of specific things that people only get once, it will be more useful, or the thing you would do first is things that you could achieve regularly and get rewarded for regularly.
Yes.
Because that's similar, but you would get value from it all the time. And then I guess maybe a later iteration of that could be the ultimate finite list of ultimate end game quests that you're trying to fill in
kind of
later
golden
on.
quests or something like that. But no, I think it's fair to say that a rich achievement system in the form of a quest system is has been an appealing feature for us for quite a long time.
It would be lovely.
And something to keep an eye on.
Okay. Right. The last question that we're going to answer in this session is from Matthias Bunagel, who asks, "I've got a question concerning the new filter system for the garage. Very cool addition, by the way.
Great.
What do you think about an additional filter category even called individual, where players can create folders and assign cars to them? For example, I want to have all the top drag cars for each RQ or rarity in one place. Then I could create a folder called Drag Cars and assign the cars I often use. This would be a great opportunity to keep the cleanliness in growing garages. So like a personal box.
I kind of love the way that we put in a basic filter system, and then it's just like everywhere they're engaging with the game so much that actually it needs a really rich filter system, which we've done, and I think it works well. But I sort of love the fact that actually there's a whole nother level beyond that of personalization that would benefit top drives.
Well, we've done it twice, right? We expanded the filters once, right? That's much better. And then it's like, oh no, there's way more we need to do. We don't even have ground clearance in there. And then we did this whole thing, which is, better in a few ways, because you can also count how many cars you've got of each kind. Like, there we go, we've got almost everything covered now. And now it's like, oh no, wait, but yeah, also, because one of the things, for example, you go into a rain event, I'm like, right, I want my rain cars, which are probably either going to be rear-wheel drive and standard tyres, or four-wheel drive and performance tyres. And that's two separate filters that I have to go and make and then choose from. So, that would be a classic example. On the other hand, maybe we should have a category that's like weather cars and it has both of those in it. I don't know.
And it's not, I mean, it's sort of, there's a little bit of a kind of sort of UX kind of menu design headache around this, and anything where it's kind of bespoke sort of player inputting is going to cause that. But it's not impossible to imagine something where you can bring up a car and sort of assign its own custom tag to it that then sits within the filter system.
Yeah. I guess the question is, how many people would use it? Right? Would you use it? How often would this come in handy? or is there just like, well, I'd use it for this all the time. It's like, oh, we should just put a filter in for that thing that you would use it for all the time.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the question.
That might, yes. I mean, that might be a more straightforward sort of short-term solution to that. So, no, I mean, one to discuss.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, thank you very much to With Cars, Mihai Blaga, Frederick Nielsen, Tilman Protzner, Jason Kanak and Matthias Bühnagel for your questions. And you have each won a carbon fibre pack. So make sure to get in touch and we will get your prize to you very soon. Just want to say a huge thank you to Joe Macari Performance Cars for letting us come back and film for the second year running. We've had a lovely time looking around at the fantastic cars. It's lovely here. You should come and check it out. And if you're in the market for a very fast car or a classic car, this is a good place to come and take a look. So that is it from us this time around. Thank you very much for watching. We'll do another Q&A in January, so make sure to leave your questions down in the comments below. We look at the most liked comments first, so if you see a question that you like the look of, make sure to give it a like. While you're here, subscribe to the dedicated Top Drives YouTube channel and visit our social channels up above my head for more cool Top Drives content. We will see you soon, and thanks for playing Top Drives.